anti-eco so far. Stanislaw last man, and there's no kills just yet. Maybe Blade could be picked off if he's lucky with the P250. There goes Electronic, and there goes Blade as well. Now there's not. There's Mixwell. There was Mixwell. Mixwell will lie. On the high ground now, Tarek takes him down though, but in the meantime, Walder's got to pick onto Naflight. Blade up high, gets picked up as well. 3 versus 3. Still lots of time for Flipside.
Yeah, looking really good at the moment for OpTic's defense, you know, wasting that time playing off these trains. Just comes down to the individual skill. Tarek already with a couple of kills. Can he go even more huge in this one? He looks like he will. A third one comes into play there, and that is forward presence removed from this A bomb site. When it comes into the fray now with the AWP, looking to work with the long channels, he might be able to catch somebody off guard here, but with 20 seconds to go to plant the bomb, and he's the guy that has to plant it. He's going to have to get close to the bomb site. This is just so many kinds of awkward here for Flipside, but still, well done with the frag. Rush, his timing is absolutely crucial here to be able to take this round. They have to go for the plant.
Oh so close!
God. Markov doesn't spot it. He must hear it though. Now he sees it. Rush takes him down. It's just well done, but he did get the bomb down.
He does not know where person 2 is. He will try to use the structures to his advantage. Oh, the timing is unreal. A clock continues to tick. Rush making noise, going up the ladder. Oh, that's so awkward, but the patient play pays off. Where's Stanislaw though? Did he hear him? Did Stanislaw make a step? Seems well that it might realize where Stanislaw is. That continues to tick. Stanislaw doesn't have a kit. There might be one nearby, but he needs to find Waldered. Waldered dancing around the structure. Will he find the right angle? Oh, the P250 just too far away. There's no time for Stanislaw unless he can find a kit. He can't find one. The round goes to Flipside.
Oh my, I don't know how Waldered it saves this. They were in such a weird spot. They had to run forwards to plant the bomb. With the AWP had to go close. Crazy business going on. Tarek though, at least he's firing off here, gets himself a triple.
Such patient play from the AWP. That's so awkward. Really nice and important kills for Wilder. There was a moment as well where Markov was almost walking under the heaven position, and Tarek's elbow was showing, at least to me. So I did wonder if he popped up on the radar. Eventually, Wilder got the kill, so maybe, I don't know. Either way, it's 4-2. Mixwell on the AWP, everybody else on pistols.
This could be deceptively strong though, especially if you have all the lemmings running in front, and it gives you, the AWP a lot of space to work with. But that said, it really depends on where Flipside attack, of course, and at the moment they are on most of them actually are very spread out, in fact. So it's kind of unclear as to what exactly Flipside are going to be after in the end game for this round. Initially, just trying to make sure they stay a little bit safe, as OpTic are. I mean, we already saw that OpTic in a round like this, they push Team main. So OpTic have already said that they're willing to push in rounds like this, whereas a lot of teams would just sit back. And now the B stack from OpTic. Yeah,
I like that OpTic have plans and direction with the approaches they choose to take. Everybody on a B site. Now we have to wait to see what reaction they have once the bomb gets planted on A. You can see Mixwell's the first man to rotate. They're keeping the pistols together. The numbers game with weak weaponry, but they do risk losing the AWP. Although it's going to be harder to all hide on train than on other maps. It seems OpTic, well, we've got Tarek in a forward position, but the rest of them still in CT spawn at the moment. The priority may change now to keeping Mixwell's AWP alive. You see OpTic have positioned themselves for every entrance in towards the B bomb site. So again, it's the early warning system to keep Mixwell alive, and that's a great reaction from OpTic.
Oh, nice. Poor Tarek, unlucky not to find the finish of that one. 4 HP on Electronic left over. Good effort, though. Yeah, I definitely have to say I very much like how OpTic played this round, trying to get a couple of sneaky frags at the end of it. Not really sacrificing all that much, definitely keeping Mixwell alive on the AWP. It's only a 5-2 deficit for OpTic Gaming at the moment, so there's plenty of space for them to come back into this one. Mixwell, of course, keeping that AWP in his hands, and the rest of his teammates on full rifles and a decent amount of grenades too. So OpTic Gaming, what do they have to offer here? I mean, FSid3 have indeed been playing very slow, and it does seem like they're getting under OpTic's skin a little bit here and there.
Indeed, I think the sheer pace of FSid3 will be irritating to the OpTic side. Mixwell forced from his forward position. FSid3, one thing they do fast is take the upper B control. Electronic spamming, as is Waylander. Again, asking questions of OpTic. A smoke will give some gaps. Peek again, WorldElite getting a pick. Definitely a good map for WorldElite to get frags. The style of Warper he is, especially. Markelov keeping eyes on Ivy for the time being. Mixwell picking off Waylander as that smoke dissipates. Out to the 4 versus 4, but still time for FSid3. You can hear them shouting. They're sitting next to us at the moment. Is there going to be a push from Stanislaw? He's making his way through B. He's getting information for his team. That puts 3 people on the CT side, on the A side. He picks off Markelov's, or Electronic rather, as Nav takes Markelov down. Stereo frags for the OpTic. A strong position now.
Yeah, they know exactly what's happening, and just isolating player after player from FSid3. WorldElite once again with the AWP and the bomb, and he's got 3 players to take down. This will be very, very difficult indeed. Perhaps it will be a fast finish here. Oh, Stanislaw is spotted a little bit late there. Does get a lot of tagging in, and there is the finishing shot. Looking to maybe get the second AWP, perhaps. Nope, just the single AWP. I have to say, I did find it was very humorous almost how Waylander was trying to make that play with the pop flashes, then sitting in the smoke and slowly creeping. I really was wondering if a play like that was actually going to work, but it seemed like Mixwell actually read that. So
I think Blade pounded the table when he got killed as well. I just had a massive push to my left. Definitely wasn't Dan. So FSid3 had advantages, and now the tables have turned. The UMP Blade with the honest P250. Fast play into the A side. A change of pace from these players. The flashbangs in and rushes down.
This is a really fast push. That pace is insane, isn't it? After what we've seen, Waylander is in such a fast position all the way into the bomb site there. That's never going to have the cover for that one. Mixwell and Stanislaw now, last man standing. However, Stanislaw's found himself a sneaky position, traded immediately though. That makes life very hard for Mixwell now. He needs somebody. He needed someone to give him some distraction to work off of. But instead, it looks like he's probably going to just try to save this one. And that's the danger of a team like this. If they actually know how to use that pace and know the right moments to switch it up to go very fast. And the right moment here was when they had not the best weapons, not the best utility. Then they went super fast contact style. Because every other time they've announced their presence after playing slow, after announcing presence here or there across the different parts of the map. So FSid3, they can only do that so many times, but this was a very good time to do that.
Yeah, and it's not often, in the years we've followed teams such as FSid3, it's not often that we've seen such a gone for those fast plays. It's just been slow play after slow play after slow play. So it's a nice warning shot, if you will, to OpTic Gaming as well. Mixwell holds on to the AWP. No one has spent any money just yet on the OpTic side, so we'll see. He's dropped an M4 for a teammate, so they're going to buy around the AWP. As Henry alluded to in a previous match today, this may, the fact that he saves the AWP and they buy around it, may favour FSid3 if they can win this round as well, because they will have ruined their economy. See Markelov moving towards Ivy passively. And the grenade there in case there was a fast push, but there isn't.
Naf did actually land that shot. Looks like Mixwell's going to land a shot as well, but because he has the AWP, it will be a one-shot kill. So good start here for the OpTic boys, and looks like FSid are going to be making a bit of a meal of the bomb site very soon. And let's see if that meal is going to be consumed easily, or if it's going to go down very poorly. So far, it's looking like there's trades all over the place, and Tarek's coming in explosive fashion, leaving just Blade, the in-game leader, alone against 3 players. Indeed, it's not going all that well here for FSid. However, there is actually a chance here. There's a minute for Blade to play off of this situation.
But there's a Mixwell already and waiting for him. FSid struggling with the consistency at the moment. It's interesting as well. While they're communicating during rounds, there's lots of shouts. North American teams. So maybe they're feeling the stress at the moment. I mean, they strung 4 rounds together, but now it's just, they're just trading rounds. OpTic, when they have crappy buys, they're winning the rounds, and that has to annoy FSid. They have
One cool thing too is that, you know, Mixwell, who is the main AWPer here, he's actually getting some performances in, which is so crucial. That, I mean, that one of those shots he hit towards Ali earlier was just really insanely quick, and if he's able to keep that up, then there's a real chance that OpTic can actually even win the half. But what is the option for FSid now? Well, Stanislav's going aggressive, and as you mentioned previously, so often FSid have pushed this very fast. Again, this change of pace has perhaps thrown them off a little bit. Stanislav's information play will be blown up entirely.
Yeah, FSid quite spread out at the moment. 2 of them towards B, but they're not going to commit or overcommit, depending on how you look at it. 3 players in and around connector for OpTic. They've got opportunity to rotate towards either site, but it may not be the most premium of positioning. Mixwell looking for frags towards A main at the moment. Well, then it's still biding his time there. Markelov sneaking forwards, but it's going to be a gamble once that smoke disappears if he stands in the middle of it. Could catch a player off guard. You see him just facing the wall in case of a flashback. There he is up close, running distraction. There's a teammate. You see the shouting again from the team, but it's a 4 versus 2. They have advantages. Rush was up the high ground. He's got 10 HP. Do they have the nades to finish him off? Seeing the can't find the bullets. There goes Tarek. There goes Rush as well. FSid fights straight back and once again ruin the economy of OpTic. But can they capitalize on this? Can they have consistency in the coming rounds of this half?
This is a really weird spot now because there's only like 3 rounds left in the half at the moment, and OpTic are in a spot now, or 4 rather, where they have essentially, you know, a lot of teams would force buy in this spot because your economy is so ruined that you essentially need 2 ecos anyway to have a decent buy. So that's what they're going to go with. The force buy comes in. This is just descended into madness between these 2 teams. Oh,
well,
wow.
Here we go again. I think the CTs feel there's blood in the water when they're on the force by FSid. They just can't deal with it. How is this happening again? They've got pistols.
God. Again, it's just crazy, isn't it? It has indeed descended into madness between these 2 teams. Electronics got to get an ace, a 1 versus 5. It's a decent start, and some of these players, I mean, 3 of them are insanely low now. James, he could actually make this work with how tagged up these OpTic players are. He hasn't got the bomb though, and they do have a good understanding of his position, and then tagged down to 32. His chances are diminishing rapidly, I think. And a lot of weapons can start to be picked up for free, especially now that they know his position. They can safely pick up some guns. And we can see there's 2 AKs on the side of OpTic now, and they found the bomb too. So that's even more things stacked against Mr. Electronic now.
Looks like he's going to try and hold on to what he has, but again, the consistency is not there for FSid. They cannot crush when they have the advantages. And that doesn't bode well. You know, they've got many opportunities to extend their lead over OpTic and a team.
B site for the CTs is that they are playing a very passive setup, so they can delay the B players of the T side here. And well, maybe there's no delay because Nap dies immediately. You get a trade coming in from Sanders. Oh my god, the flames burn him down, and that bomb did it go down in time?
It did.
Looks like it's ticking. It is in fact ticking, but the sacrifice was alive.
They know Waylander's around these trains somewhere. While he's alive, he's a nuisance. He's slowing players down. That allows Wilder to open people up. But there goes Waylander, and now it's Markelov on his own. to be good name value on flip side. He's been spotted, but he has the advantage. He can peek before. Rush has to touch the bomb, and it's another round for flip side. But can they get the last ones? Again, the money for OpTic ruined, and I wouldn't be surprised if I saw another force buy.
Was Rush just trying to stick the defuse there without cover? Was that what he's doing there? That's kind of nuts. Oh,
I can
man.
be your hero, baby.
That was super close.
He did what he had to do.
Yeah, but right at the end there, in that 2v1, it felt like the OpTic gaming should have been able to handle that a little bit better. But either way, we an 8-5 scoreline, only a 3-round deficit. But once again, they run pistols, so perhaps this is going to be where they find salvation once again, as they have been successful with these pistols previously by getting a little bit more aggressive and not allowing Flipside to get too much of a plan going. Wow, look how forward they are, and look how aggressive they are. It's so counter to what you can typically see.
They're on bath salts, Dan.
On this map.
Bath salts level aggression from OpTic at the moment. And again, Flipside struggle to cope in these situations. They're not easy by any means. That's for sure. We'll see where OpTic choose to go. Mixwell alone on B for the time being. A Rush with a scout towards A. See Tarek rotating, Stanislaw rotating as well. Can they get in position in time? The bomb is firmly on the floor at present. Flipside still holding passive angles, but the problem with this is when you're against an eco or a force buy, you need enough time to clear wherever you decide to go. 50 seconds on the clock, and I'll start to be, scratching the back of my neck if I'm a Flipside fan.
Did they just do a full rotation because they had some AK shots towards B? I think that might be the case, James. A few AK shots, 5-man rotation to B. Can they get anything done here? That's a nice tag over the top there. Wow! Rush through the smoke finds himself an actual finishing shot there onto Electronic, and Tarek V-drops in the right moment and just gets that shot off. Oh, so close, but can't land anything. And looks like the defense is starting to really find its footing, and Mixwell needs something big. He's going to get shut down though, and now it's starting to really diminish the chances here for OpTic. And one by one they fall, and there it is. 4 men survive. A 9-5 scoreline for OpTic. A couple of chances there for them, but in reality, OpTic, they don't even have much money right now to buy with. We've seen MP9 on NAF. That is pretty desperate.
Just a reminder, this is an elimination match. Somebody is going home. Waylander cleaning house. Last round of the first half. Well, that it continues with the AWP. And there's no answer from Mixwell in terms of weaponry. He's down to the FAMAS, the French gun. And we see aggression. Normally 1 on B, and they start with 3. Pushing very fast. Electronic, surely he hears the footsteps. Yeah, they realize what's going on. Oh, he's got a grenade in his hand! But the teammate's going to cover him, and he's going to trade. That could have gone disastrously, but it works out for Flipside.
Yeah, are they going to take the bomb straight to B? Looks like they are thinking about it. There's the frag from one. That surely must convince them. There's only 1 player left. Stan's always been spotted, and he'll be fragged. That makes it simple. 10-5 scoreline. And indeed, OpTic, they're in a really bad spot right now. They've got to fight back from such a deficit. And again, as you said, if they lose, they're already 0-2. That means that they would be done. And Flipside would still survive on a slim lifeline, but they would survive, and OpTic would be thrown out into the cold.
Again, this raises a question mark of a gatekeeper situation. OpTic, you would say have more potential in the tournament overall. So if Flipside take them out, then who knows? We see the top fraggers for both sides. Electronic up there with 13 kills. Tarek, there have been question marks as his performance this tournament. He's doing well for his team at the moment, close to average actually. It's Mixwell, Stanislaw, and Rush, all with 11 frags on the T side. But he's not far behind. Anyway, if OpTic lose this pistol, then people are going to start getting hot under the collar, Dan. So this is crucial. Blade, 2 flashes and a defuse kit. Stanislaw, the grenade man for OpTic. Mixwell has been turned into the raid boss, by the way.
Oh, that's cool to see. I love that. All right, let's see if these USPs can get those long ranges working out for them. Well, not long ranges for too much longer. These T's are getting closer and closer to the bomb trade. Mixwell, Mr. Raid Boss there. Oh, shut down by Markelov with the USP. 2 versus 2 now, as this bomb site is occupied, but the bomb needs to be grabbed and planted. Nat is going to be going for that one. Very low he is, but no one can get to him before that bomb is set up on the floor and it starts ticking away. Can this 2-on-2 go in OpTic's favor.
Oh, well, that spots, but can he kill? That is the question. They're repositioning for a crossfire, but there are still two CTs. Well, then it gets the first kill. No trade possible for Stanislaw. There's Markelov. He's going to get the last kill. Has he got time to defuse the bomb? That's the question. Yep, he's picked up a kit. There's recent history where he didn't manage to find one, which may have cost him a match, but this time the kit's firmly in his hands. Now, FSid have a great opportunity to have a humongous lead, but we know it is easier said than done.
It's always fun because, like, the FSid tactics, because, or rather, let's say, any team that's led by Blade can often be a big problem, just because they tend to be able to, under his leadership, play probably a different kind of Counter-Strike to a lot of other teams, because Blade is a very good in-game leader, great at the mid-round calls, he has a very tactical approach to the game. And it's hard to replicate that. There's not many people that can actually do that play at this level. So it's always one to watch out for. And P250s, that's all OpTic have in this round. Flashbang and a smoke. Perhaps looking to get themselves onto a bomb plant to get some additional cash going into that first buy round of theirs. And of course, maybe some damage would be nice as well. The UMP is great for this though. Play some good mid-range combat.
By the way, production let us know that most of the shouting on the FSid team is being done by Markelov at the moment. Although things seem to have calmed down for now. See the T's rotating. Stanislaw with that smoke and flash can throw that towards connector. It could help them get into B. Bomb plant would be a bonus. They want to do damage as they come out towards these AKs in the next round. There goes the smoke. Molotov on the low ground, but here they come on the high ground. Easy three-man spray down for Waylander. He is making all kinds of cash. And there's another one for him. Anti-eco ace for Waylander. I don't even know how much money he just made.
Well, he's sitting on 7k, so decent enough chunk of cash for him. And OpTic, they got to find something inside, because right now it's hard times. Stralis enjoying life there. Dinner and stream on the phones.
That is a lot of white people around one big table, Dan.
Is that some KBBQ I see?
7-round lead for FSid. OpTic on the AKs. The UMPs continue for FSid. They're playing the conservative game. They have lots of grenades though, but of course they might be, well, 2400 is not spectacular, so if they were to lose this round, then things would be a little bit awkward. We'll see if OpTic can get back into the game. Playing the waiting game currently, but they are playing a CIS team. 4 players deep into A for FSid. Waylander is the point. Oh, ding dong! Mixwell down to 2 HP.
Oh dear.
Well, then it has a HE grenade as well, so they have to be really careful. He's got it, he's throwing it. And there it is.
No.
Mixwell has been disintegrated.
They have 2 smoke grenades, do OpTic Gaming. They have almost no grenades to work with in this round. And they're very, very spread out. They've already lost 1 man. So you would expect that this position, this would be the time, combine your forces, get the smoke grenades down and try to attack a site with the numbers. But they're losing the numbers before they can even do that. And there's only 1 smoke grenade on the team at the moment. So they are losing options as time goes on. They're losing a lot of options. Oh, sorry, there's still 2 smoke grenades. My mistake. But still, how do they deploy these? There's one to block off the initial angles there as they make their way in. But the CTs here for FSid attacks on B, they have good angles. In fact, we get a bit of a fake action using those smokes to suggest this B when in fact they're going to A. Fast switch up there through PopDog. Is it going to work out? Entry is found by Rush, but there's still a ways to go. There's
a flank coming in from Waylander. No one covering the PopDog because they don't have the personnel. If he gets there in time, then there's nowhere to plant the bomb. Blading connector as well. Well, then he goes down. Waylander's got to move fast. There it goes. The bomb's down. So opportunities lost, but maybe opportunity knocks in terms of a retake. He can wait for his team to run distraction. Stanislaw, though, has made his way into main. He could trade later on. A crossfire almost here for the T's. FSid biding their time. 2 of the 3 players with defuse kits. How do they get back into this bomb site?
Oh my man, OpTic actually have amazing positions right now. Look at that crossfire. There's nothing you can do. They had so much time to set up there. As you said, I think it was Waylander or Welder. They're very slow from PopDog to get into the flanking position. And oh wow, bouncing off the side there. Very nice from Welder. But yeah, that's an amazing recovery from OpTic. They had 2 smoke grenades and 3 players, and they run a very fast fake switcheroo there, and they make it work. That's nuts. And in fact, they survive all those 3 players.
OpTic with half the score of FSid at the moment. FSid opting for an eco. Most of the money on their team is being held between 2 of the 5 players, so again, that they are taking a conservative route. There's no need for them to put themselves in a crappy situation with a 6-round lead, though against a team like OpTic that could soon disappear. Waylander taking some risks, trying to catch them off guard, but he can't make the fatal connection. Pistols and a flashbang onto World Edit. That CZ may be dangerous for Electronic if he can put himself in the right spot. Again, 4 in A for FSid at the beginning of this round.
And they have to be careful of FSid tactics, because if OpTic start to get the confidence rolling in, and they start to find a good groove when they start hitting outside with smoke grenades, or even as contact plays, there really could be some issues here, as OpTic could start to overwhelm them with their skill. Let's see if that's something that comes into play in the next couple of rounds, but OpTic still have to navigate this one cleanly, and they're starting to move into the to the A-bomb site right now. And there's 4 players here just hiding in all the corners, and there is 1 kill from Electronic. Starting things off well here for FSid tactics. They're starting to flank as well, and Blade gets 1. Oh dear, some problems here for OpTic Gaming, still even on the numbers, but still disaster could strike his way. And it comes in from the back. Oh, but he's going to get taken down here. So it looks pretty good there. OpTic should be able to hold this.
But will they? Look at the damage on these 2 players. Oh, there we go. Mixwell manages to find the valley through to other space through the corner, but I mean, time was running low there, and so many options for OpTic that they managed to take it over the line. That's really good damage done by FSid as they come in for their buy. Well did it, one of the ones to watch in GoTV and Game Command on the AWP now, as is Mixwell for the T's, who will take the early advantage.
And what FSid did in that round, that's actually the more common way you'd try to hold with the pistol buyers, the CTs, as opposed to what OpTic were doing, where they were going very aggressive through CT main. So you get to see both sides of the coin there, in that sense. And now FSid with a very common setup to begin things with. Oh, what is playing the pixel angles there, waiting on that off angle to see if anyone's going to be pushing. It's quite safe to play like that. It's going to be interesting to see if he will get anything from it. Because the one thing is that you don't get much info from it. It would be nice to get a teammate to flash for a peek at some point, to see if you can get some info, and maybe even get a kill with it. But it can be difficult. Ooh, Tarek spots the player there with the shadow out. Bit of information from both teams, but not too much going in. OpTic are going to be having to resort to just executing at some point soon.
The question is there a second player? With someone playing... There could be a second player towards B, as far as the T's are concerned. They could have an AWP around connector. There are a lot of things FSid could be doing on the B bomb site, where OpTic are headed close to 40 seconds. So the rotation may be a problem for the CT side. Blade close to connector. Waylander deploying a Molotov, only enough on the high ground. This clock continues to tick. Just a HE grenade, nothing else to stop a bomb plant from going down for FSid other than the gun game. Again, still 2 in the B-bomb site. Waylander exposed up, no one covering his back. Advantages for OpTic. Markelov going down as well, and this could fall apart for FSid.
Yeah, Blaze deep though, gets himself a second kill. Really a good damage done, but he will be eliminated before his teammates can get into position, and that is going to be very problematic. It's going to be hard for him to get too much now, because, again, these T's, initially, they had Blade pressuring them off of positions, but now all they have to do is just sit and wait for World Edit. So it's very unlikely he's going to be able to get any angles with this AWP, and that's a very sad reality for him. He might get one chance, but even if he does that, they can't really go in unless he gets a pick here. We have Electronics creeping up here, but as soon as the peek comes in, Tarek lops his head straight off, and OpTic starting to feel like they're coming back into this one. It is their T-sides that can be particularly dangerous, especially when their pace starts to ramp up.
That's one of the advantages of having an AWP around the connector area to hold that high ground. You sort of smoked towards connector, which isolated Waylander, so that was well done by the OpTic side, and now that 6-round lead is quickly disappearing for the FSid team. They There's been 3 rounds in a row for OpTic, so the loss bonus is growing for FSid3, but they won't care about that. They want to win. Early smoke towards main by the CT side, who are on eco. 5 pistols, electronic with a flash. We'll see if they can do as much damage as they did on their previous eco. Tarek with the UMP. There's money for AKs, but he knows the eco's coming, so he will be the point man, the investigation man. Now you see the CT push, but nothing doing. Markloff and Blade remain.
Yeah, really well handled here from OpTic. FSid3 trying to go in with the timing there on the aggression, and OpTic hold that pretty smoothly. So, and all of the rounds that they're having like that, where they start to hold, convincingly, they build their money, and when your money builds, it adds a little bit of confidence too, because you feel like, you know what, if I do die in this spot, the implications are a little bit less, because I can still rebuy, and I won't be too taxing on my teammates' economy. And so it's all going to help and add to OpTic gaining more confidence here in going for riskier plays. And I feel like that's where they could really start to unleash quite the comeback when we start to see them going a little bit ham on the outside and really testing that defense, the FSid3. But we might have a push from FSid3 here on the B side of things. They look like Waylander wanted to get in there, but I think a flash came in. Oh, nice from Mixwell. Spots the feet, goes through the wooden board, and that is a very dead Waylander. But there's more. There's 3 men initially on that B setup. Oh man, he definitely got a bit overconfident there, James.
The bomb has been dropped, but I mean, they probably assumed that there was only one person towards B, as there commonly is, but no, Markloff in the right place at the right time as well, and now life is very awkward for the OpTic gaming side. He's got to be careful though, in case they start spraying. And you have to feel like that pick from Mixwell was because Tarek saw Waylander playing close there in the previous round. It's not often you see peaks like that at the moment, but look what it's cost him.
And there's only one smoke to try to throw in front of that bomb. And that's on rush, and there is the smoke, and it's not even that forward of a smoke. So I perhaps aiming to try to pick the bomb up within the smoke. I think the bomb is in the smoke. And
yeah, but then Molotov has gone through, so that's going to delay them as well. But they have collected it.
Okay, what a weird situation at the start of the round. It's still a 4 versus 4, but the time now, they're going to be forced to hitting that A bomb site.
Yeah, they've got no map control whatsoever. The only thing going in their favor at the moment is that there are 2 CTs per site, and the B plays are pretty deep, so it will be a long rotation though. Markloff may come in for the flank. Blade on the high ground once again. He's got to be careful. He's quite exposed, and it's going to be taken down as well, and so is Blade. The duels are not being won by FSid3. This may be a save.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do in this spot other than save. And OpTic, they managed to turn an awkward situation that can actually get to some teams and maybe force misplays. And they turn it into a victory here, which is great to see for them and their confidence moving forward. They're starting to build that, as I mentioned previously. And now FSid, the test starts to fall onto them as to how to tighten up their setup. Because as you said, they had a pretty cool idea there in the sense that they had 3 players almost baiting the B push, the overreaction, and baiting something greedy. And it kind of happened. It kind of worked almost even better than they perhaps intended as the bomb got dropped. But in the end, OpTic were able to work their way out of that situation. 4 rounds in a row, soon to become 5. And as that max round loss bonus builds here for FSid, I have to see if they're going to find a way in with having saved 2 guns, because we will get another buyout from them.
Yeah, you see Mixwell pre-firing, he's pre-aiming the angle where Waylander was standing when Tarek spotted him in the previous round, and that costs FSid, at least briefly. I think one of the.
Oh my god!
I think one of the. What does that word mean, Dan?
I don't.
I think one of the biggest issues for FSid at the moment is the fragging power of OpTic. OpTic are just winning. They're winning the 1 versus 1s. FSid are the recipients of numerous headshots, and they need to find a way to overcome that. They're on the CT side, so it's not even like they can execute their strats as they would on their T side.
We have a heated exchange here, James. Electronic, the young player against the old experienced.
I understand a bit of Russian.
I don't know about that.
I learned some Russian to play with Russians.
Okay, what is your translation, James? Please enlighten us.
I don't know. But if you ever need to tell someone to look behind them, you would say "Pozadi tebya." Oh, that is behind you in Russian.
That one phrase you're looking for. Great. Great. Anyway.
Who knows? It could have come in handy.
Wow.
3 pistols on the FSid tactics team. They need to keep cool heads. Maybe we need wet towels, Dan. They need to keep cool heads.
I'm going to call you the Rosetta Stone. That one. James the Rosetta Stone. Bardolph. Okay, well, I mean, this could actually be quite hard to OpTic to deal with because it depends on how they read the economy of FlipSide. Because if FlipSide haven't gone all the way in here, and they could have done. They saved 2 guns. If instead got some Kevlars and some pistols with this. So it's interesting actually that they decided to take that approach. And it's going to be quite cool to see whether WorldEdit can get some value out of the AWP. He is currently at the A bomb site as well, and OpTic are setting up the grenades for the set piece onto the A bomb site.
Grenades are being deployed, but will they commit, OpTic? I like the pop flash into main since they had no presence. WorldEdit spots one, repositioning because he's exposed to both sides, and he will have a counter flash of his own. So they've seen one player in main. Does that mean it's a fake? Is Tarek the man to flank? Is it a B play? They've got Waylander in a forward position towards B, but still Markov is yet to rotate. WorldEdit missing the first shot, his teammate needs help. Electronic gets a kill, but they get wiped out on the A side. Markov pushes in late, and he's going to go down as well, leaving Waylander on his own with a 5-7. Nothing is working for FlipSide.
Waylander with a quick steal though, able to take down Nap, stealing that AK-47 effectively. But indeed, this is what I always found a little bit scary from OpTic. Even though FlipSide didn't have the best weapons to really deal with this push, it is quite hard to stop OpTic when they get into the rhythm on their outside aggressions. Because as you know, Jason was saying on the desk earlier about the performances we're seeing out of Rush, when this team started to come into everybody's spotlight and started winning tournaments, it was because of these unexpected performances from the likes of Rush, Naf, and so on. And we started to realize that actually there was quite a significant amount of individual skill on this team. And the best ways to leverage that on this map is to get a good entrance through the choke points on that A bomb site. Because once you do that, much like the same reason why G2 is scary on this map, once you get into these open spaces, it becomes almost like deathmatch mode in a very fast pace, and that's where the individual skill starts to shine. And we see a very fast takedown of everyone on the defense there from the FlipSide Tactics team. So 1 round now, and OpTic have tied things up. 1 round away.
And that would be their 7th round in a row. And you can see FlipSide are mentally broken. They just can't get anything going. Bearing in mind, FlipSide have won both pistol rounds in this game. They've only got 2 rounds to show for that in the second half, including the pistol round. Stanislaw moving quickly into the crosshair of WorldEdit, but the rest of the team are towards B. And indeed, Waylander is alone. He's on his lonesome. No one to cover his high ground. Will OpTic go for a fast player? That smoke may slow things down. Now we see Markov has moved into B as well.
And right now it feels like FlipSide really need a round here to just get a calming force, get some tranquility back onto the team. Because as we saw there, perhaps, I don't know how it works necessarily, but the new boy there, Electronic, giving that heated exchange with Blade, if the ranks start to go into disarray, James, then that is going to cause problems here. But that is a stunning pickoff from Mixer. What an angle he just found.
That is awesome. I think if FlipSide win 1 round and lose the next one, OpTic are going to win the game. That's what I feel about this.
It's quite possible. I don't know how close FlipSide are to breaking point. They've been there in majors previously to that breaking point, and it gets to a point where it's unrecoverable from the state the team gets into. And they did start this off well, but with that equalizing frag, the question becomes now, OpTic, they're going to hit that A side. Can they get through the choke points without a problem? Because if they do, then FlipSide are for a very hard time.
WorldEdit is positioned towards PopDog, but there's only one player there for the T side, and he just runs out and takes his teammate down. No shot, and then he misses the re-peek. Oh, this is falling apart for FlipSide. It's like a paper house in a tornado. It's nowhere to be seen. Waylander with 1 kill, but surely he was going to go down. That is brutal. You've got a player in your crosshairs. He jumps out, kills your teammate, disappears again, and there's no response. There's no answer.
Yeah, it's getting bad now for FlipSide Tactics, I think. And 12-12 is not, an impossible scoreline to fight back from, of course. I mean, in fact, in the majority of games, this is totally even in many senses, although we have that big streak of rounds from OpTic Gaming, but I'm more concerned about the mentality of FlipSide right now.
It was 12-6. All they have tasted of late is defeat, is failure.
Lovely.
So how do you get refocused? How do you get your heads in the game, especially with all these people raising their voices and so on? Like,
I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to know some teams in the communication. Some teams, they can, you know, be fighting each other, shouting at each other, and it's just like this weird internal dynamic that can actually work and be fine. But I don't know. I don't know where FSid are at right now. I feel like it's not that. I feel like that's not the case at the moment.
FSid picking up some pistols. Oh! Stanislaw being absolutely wrecked, but they're going to need a lot more than that. Can the Bedlam favor FSid? Blade getting taken down. We've got frags on both. What's going on? There's 2 OpTic players left. But there's still a round to be won by both sides.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Get some momentum back here. A surprise round, perhaps. Well, it's down to Waylander now. He's got a surprise position, and he comes. Then the drive-by with the 5.7 allows him to pick up the AK-47 off the ground there as well as turning it into a 1 versus 1. He has a kit as well as full Kevlar, a helmet, a smoke grenade. There are a lot of opportunities here for Waylander to play this. But who will be the one to be outplayed? Tarek gets the plant down. And he's got so much time to take a position. He doesn't necessarily know how much time he has to take a position, though. So he has to be somewhat conservative and be somewhat cautious here. But Waylander, oh, he might be coming in the perfect spot. Let's see if Tarek continues to back off. Looks like Tarek's found a spot to be static on. This will be hard for Waylander. What an angle that is.
That is an unflankable angle by Tarek in this situation, which is fantastic. Will he go for the hero defuse? I think he will. No, he's going to fake it. Going to try and draw Tarek out. Is Tarek going to believe it? He's coming out. Waylander looking the wrong way. Can't get the kill. Never know what the right play is. Got to take one of them. Waylander can't win the round there. But again, this was an eco round from the CT side. Good damage done. But again, they don't win the round. 7 rounds in a row for OpTic.
That would have been such a good round. Oh my god, you can see the calming force there of the experienced Markelov. I mean, this is getting really emotional here for FSid Tactics. That round would have meant so much for them to get their heads back into the game. But there's still a chance here. They've got a good buy going in for themselves. But look at this OpTic. They see that there is a problem. They see the tension there on FSid. They want to make it really hurt. Going in fast right now, but well, they're able to sap some of the sting out of that one. Quick return from Rush, though.
Well, they're getting grenades out. He's the AWP man. He needs to stay scoped. Still a man advantage for FSid with Nafly going down. CT's playing around the smokes. Everything slows down now. OpTic trying shock and awe. Now it's going to have to go down to Jules. You hear the calls from FSid. They hear some sounds. They need to position themselves to keep control of this bomb site. Electronic in the smoke. Waylander getting picked up towards Ivy. Markelov covering Electronics back. There goes Mixwell. Numbers running out for OpTic. Can FSid finally win a round? Blade's got 1 HP in AWP.
So tense at the moment as they make their way back into the site, trying to discover what's going on. There's so much time has passed. These T's could be anywhere. The bomb yet to be planted. Tarek very low as his Blade. Orbs in the hand of either player. There it is. Rush finds the first one. That's the weak Blade done and dusted, leaving Markelov alone. It's 2. Tarek and Rush coming in, and there's the stepping, and Rush, he's got the angle, he's got the engagement, he closes it down, and another round for OpTic, another close, very close round. It is so hard for FSid right now. It's even hard to watch that they're in all these spots and they lose by the smallest of margins.
You have to wonder if it's worse for their temperament to get close and then lose as opposed to just getting battered in a round. They have another buy coming out, well that it's on the AWP once again.
Wow.
So the orbs are so crucial on a map such as Train as well. I really think Waddle just needs to keep his AWP out. You never know what's going to happen. OpTic keep going for the fast plays. See Mixwell going for a peek. He will get smoked off eventually.
He actually hit Markelov as well.
Oh.
I don't know how, but he did. My goodness gracious me. It's looking very, very interesting now, isn't it? FSid, and it's a mental battle for them. With so many rounds lost in a row, only defeats is what they know, as James mentioned. Oh, and it gets worse. Mixwell finds the player. Well,
they can't win the jewels down.
They can't.
It's tough for Waddle because when a Molotov's down, it's really hard to see through the Molotov, in fairness. But, I mean, generally speaking, they're not winning the jewels 7 rounds in a row. 8 rounds in a row for
So OpTic now just combining their forces. They know they have the 5 versus 3 advantage. And again, even if you have the 5 versus 4 advantage, or 4 versus 4, they take this around the same way. We saw it before. Electronic though, quick kill of Nap allows him an AK, covering himself with that Molotov, gets a perfect angle. Electronic with a triple kill, a much needed triple kill, leaving just Rush and Mixwell now to clutch their hearts out in this round. It's going to be tough. The bomb is in no man's land. Markov finds Rush in the back now as Mixwell goes up against 3 alone on only 29 health. Misses the shot, announces his position. There's surely nothing he can do, and Markov will finally silence him for the first round in ages for FSid Tactics.
2 of the OpTic players with over $10,000 as well, so there is no respite from the carnage that OpTic Gaming are bringing to the table. 1 round behind, FSid. Is that a round? I mean, where are they mentally? You have to wonder. So much stress in this half. Such a good lead they had. That is mere history now. AWP collected by WorldEdit. I was about to say, you do wonder if they would benefit from changing his position somewhat. And indeed, he is... Nope, he's back to his usual spot. Waylander spotting some people. He might need some early help. Again, Markov is rotating. OpTic Gaming, they've often had some slow takes of the upper B area. This time it's fast and in numbers. But again, they've got 2 players towards Ivy. Oh man, just walking out, no warning. Waylander goes down, no response from FSid.
If they started to believe because of the previous round, it might be taken away from them in dramatic fashion, as only 2 players are left here, moving back into the B-bomb site. But that's not where the bomb is. Once again, it's hard to predict exactly where that bomb is going to be going on a map like this. Mixwell will be setting it upon a bomb site, leaving Blade and Electronic in a position where perhaps they can't do anything. The positioning that OpTic will have will simply be so incredibly strong, as is the numbers advantage as well. And I felt like FSid, they had their moment perhaps in this round, but as you said, just walking out. A very smart play from OpTic Gaming. They found a blind spot, and that blind spot has carried them forwards to a victory in round 28.
And that is the economic reset that FSid didn't want, couldn't afford, cannot handle.
James, I don't think we should bring the scoreboard up on the...
Let's bring the scoreboard up.
Oh, no. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. That is not pretty. They have nothing. OpTic are now on match point, and this is an elimination match. How do you come back in this situation? What do you have to do? I don't even know how to begin to answer this question.
Ropey by incoming. Ropey by incoming.
Oh,
The UMPs. Yeah, there's
nice.
That's that well. In fairness, it's the one that's Blade saved.
True,
so,
true.
Yeah. No cash. No AWP for WorldEdit. Going back to his normal position. FSid at the mercy of OpTic. OpTic got a lot done on their T side, on their CT side rather. With not much can we expect to say from FSid.
I always want to see this out here for FSid just to have the story continue right now. So much turmoil on this one map of Train for both sides. OpTic look really good for this, but they've lost 1 player trying to get that entry going onto the A side. It's not worked out too well for them. However, still, even though they've lost Blade, have FSid, they can't actually recover the gun, not just yet at least, that was dropped by OpTic. So, still stuck on 2 pistols, still stuck on 2 UMPs, as OpTic re-strategized the round.
FSid have good percentages in this situation with Rush and Mixwell very tagged. Even at P250 on Markov has got increased potential. OpTic running the clock down. Going for the shock and awe play again. They're just literally relying on pure dueling. We are better than these guys. Let's just run and shoot them in the head. Different angles may be taken when you've got guns like UMPs and CZs and so on, which may change things. Stanislaw slowly walking in, 33 seconds left. Well, then it taken down. Mixwell will be picked off in the meantime. There goes Markov as well. 2 CTs remain to keep FSid in this major.
Oh, it doesn't look too good. Oh, though, maybe a free one, but no! Nappy will escape there, still alive. Electronic not alive for too much longer. 16-13. Such a struggle for both teams in this one. FSid Tactics, they had this one. They were so far ahead. OpTic came back so many rounds in a row. One of the most crushing defeats I have seen.
I think the individual skill was just too strong. OpTic got on the T side, then it was, I think they realized at some point, let's just charge in. But they were paying good attention to detail. Again, Tarek spotting Waylander on the lower B area, and then Mixwell going in to punish that. Nice attention to detail there, but it's just about jewels for OpTic. That takes them, well, keeps them in the major, while Flipside will be eliminated. That's the end of the road for them.
And it's still a very hard road for OpTic to walk. There's still a bunch more matches that they need to win. That's only their first win. That brings them to a 1-2 scoreline. They need 3 to qualify through to the playoffs. So still a hard line for them to walk. But it is time now for a break. We'll see you back here shortly.